cruiserweight, and I thought personally as a boxing writer, as a boxing reporter, you'd be perfect in a heavyweight division. Perfect as a heavyweight champion.
Okay.
But as a cruiserweight, you weren't as vocal as you are now. Well, how did that come
People are just
about?
listening more. I was always this vocal, but people weren't listening. People wasn't listening as much as they're listening now. I always haven't made any effort to change the way I am, or talk more or talk less. I've just been myself the whole way through. It seems like people are just really starting to figure out. I've got my phone. People are just really starting to figure out that not only am I backing it up, but I actually talk sense. And if they actually go through interviews I did before each fight, people thought I was saying stuff just for the sake of saying stuff. But actually look at the results. I'll tell you what round I've been knock people out in. I said before Barrett fight, I said I knocked him out in the 5th round. I knocked him out. What's his name? Enzo Macronelli. I said I knocked him out in 1 or 2 rounds. We did that. I've been doing what I've been saying. I haven't been just talking.
The heavyweight division needs somebody like you.
Definitely.
How do you describe it? The way it's been in the last few years, the mess and everything.
People have been turning off, to the point where, for instance, Vitaly Klitschko come out of retirement, fought Sam Peter, then he has a defence against Juan Carlos Gomez. It wasn't shown in the UK. No UK broadcaster bothered to pick it up. That shows how interested people are in those type of fights. I've not really heard of Juan Carlos Gomez before. He was mandatory. We were talking about me fighting Vitaly at one stage. That's when the worldwide he would have picked up big money for that. Instead, he fights Juan Carlos Gomez, and that goes way under the radar. Nobody watches it. It was on ESPN Classics.
Yeah.
I think that shows the interest in these guys.
How do you, the way this heavyweight division is, the way it's all set up, and of course you're one that looking to unify it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
the first step is to get these Klitschko brothers out of the way. Vladimir's got
They don't want to fight each other.
They don't want to fight each other, which is obviously I can understand. Who wants to fight their brother, but you can't have 2 people holding titles and both claiming they're the best. Yeah. So if they're not going to fight each other, someone's got to beat both. Unify.
Would that be you?
Yeah, it'd be me. Yeah, people have tried, people have failed.
How do people get to really believe in David?
They've got to tune in June 20th. They've got to watch me fight live. Don't wait to hear the result, then come and watch it and jump on the bandwagon and watch it. A lot of people out there will be watching me for the first time. So go out there, watch the fight live in the afternoon. Make sure you tune in.
And how far back does your heavyweight history go?
I've always been a heavyweight. I'm a big guy. I've always been a heavyweight. I've always boiled down to cruiserweight. So I've been a heavyweight fighting at cruiserweight for a long time. And
what took you so long?
I hadn't achieved my goal. My goal was to become undisputed champion. As soon as I achieved that, I said live directly after the fight, okay, I'm going to relinquish these titles and go and fight for the heavyweight title. That's what I've done, and in a matter of months, here we are.
It's something that boxing fans always recognize. The heavyweight champion has always made the sport go, the heavyweight division more so.
The flagship division.
And is that what your goal is?
At the moment, if you picked up even a hardened sports fan, say to him, name me the heavyweight champions of the world.
Can't.
They'd struggle. They'd probably may
we
come
can't
up with
either, can we?
You got Ruslan Shagayev and Nikolai Valuev. Both claim they both got the WBA. I don't know how that works.
No disrespect, you can't pronounce their names.
Exactly. So that's the situation. That's the situation heavyweight. People can't pronounce names, nor do they want to pronounce the names because they can't be bothered. The fights aren't shown. The fights aren't shown in the UK. The fights aren't shown in the States. So how can you have a world champion whose fight isn't shown in the UK or in the States? It doesn't equate. Am I wrong?
All right.
Yeah, but it's time to change that. It's time to change
you and
that.
Lennox. Talk to Lennox Lewis a lot.
I have done. I will be once I go into training camp. He's a master strategist.
David, it should be in Russian.
I got it in German.
Man. He's not German.
Come on, man. It's the closest I could find out.
But it's at least European.
There you go.
And how did this whole thing with the shirt evolve?
It started off with a magazine article. Just before I fought Monty Barrett, I did a shoot for Men's Health magazine where they photoshopped me holding Vladimir's head. And that shockwaves around Europe, and he was really upset about that. off the back of seeing how distressed he was over that. So
Is that what your intent, real intent, your intent was?
Yeah, and then I thought, okay, what's the next step? How far can we take this? Well, okay, let's just do a T-shirt, an image of me
It
holding.
seems like it's got
done the trick. It's got under his skin. It's made him make the fight, and here we are. You know, I'm sure he's gonna have a different intent than he did when he fought Hasim Rahman. It was an absolute non-event. I was there watching it live. There was no sound from the crowd whatsoever. I heard a couple of people clear their throat at one stage, and they were like 8 rows back. So that's the type of atmosphere he's used to fighting in. He's got to get prepared.
What type of weight do you want to keep?
I'm not that fussed about my weight, to be honest. A lot of people ask me how much I'm going to build up to, but that's the problem everybody's made when they fought him. They've tried to get too heavy, and that's just taken away their natural assets. My assets is my speed, agility, and punch power, and that won't be increased by just eating a load of burgers. You know, I'm going to be just as lean, just as healthy, just as fast, if not faster. I'll be more hydrated. I'll have had a lot more food in the build-up, so I'll just be an all-round better fighter. You know, so you're going to see the speed of a cruiserweight and the power of a big heavyweight.
How much did you admire? I know you admired Muhammad Ali, and how much history of Ali do you know and do you admire about him?
Yeah, I like the way he burst on the scene. He's the ultimate. He's the greatest. So you always aspire to be the best of whatever you can do. I always do it in all walks of life.
He did it a lot with his talk, his mouth.
But he backed his talk up. You know, he talked a good game, but he backed it up. Yeah, I've done it throughout my whole career. I've always said, if you listen to the first press conference I did when I first turned professional, I said I'm going to become the cruiserweight champion of the world. Then I'm going to become the heavyweight champion of the world. I never thought, okay, every fighter says that when they first turn pro, but I was deadly serious. And I structured my career in a way where after 22 fights, I was the undisputed champion of the world. I'd won the European title in my 15th fight, defended that 3 times, which is tough to do, fighting guys like, unbeaten guys like Jacob Fragomeni, and a couple of good guys from the European amateur circuit. So I thought a few Lassie Hans, another unbeaten guy. So I've been having tough fights from early. People don't realise that because they weren't shown in the States, but they were shown on satellite in the UK.
Finally, David, how can this division come to one champion a year with the winner?
Yeah, I think at some stage it's going to be tough with the mandatories. It's a shame the governing bodies can't all agree on the same mandatory challenger. Because if you got all 4 or 5 titles or whatever are out there, and all of the governing bodies say you've got to fight their mandatory to a different person, you're going to lose most of your titles. Once I knock out Vitaly, after I've knocked out Wladimir, I think it'll be near impossible to claim that you're not the champion because you don't hold that particular belt. But you become the champion by beating the champion, by holding a belt. So once I beat Wladimir, then I beat his brother.
What do you consider the major belts in the division? The major one, WBC, IBF, WBO.
I think the WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO, and IBO as well. It depends. Like Lennox had the IBO. Roy Jones and James Peake had the IBO. So I always credit the title with who the champion is. Even Ricky Hatton at one stage only had the IBO, but at the time he was the linear champion. He didn't fight his mandatories because he was looking for bigger fights. And so does that make Hatton a lesser champion because he only defended his IBO? I don't think so. I think that the champion makes the title. And at the moment, the champion is Wladimir. He's got the IBO, the WBO, and the IBF. So at the moment, they're the titles that I think are up there.
Are you anticipating fighting before this huge crowd?
I'm loving it. I can't wait. It's always a dream of mine to fight in a soccer stadium. It's an amazing arena. It's got a roof. It's a roof that opens and shuts. It's really impressive. And I just can't wait to get out there and show the world what I'm all about.
Okay, David. Good luck. Thanks for your time.
Thanks.